When I first introduced you to move blocks, we looked at 3 different ways to control the duration of your movement on the move block configuration panel. We said that you could move the motors a fixed number of degrees, a fixed number of rotations, or a fixed number of seconds. For many tasks, that's all you need to do. But suppose I tell you I want to write a program in which the robot drives forward while playing a tune at the same time. Now we're kind of stuck. So what I want to do is I want to have my robot move. Maybe we'll say we want to have it move 180 degrees, and then let's grab a sound block, and I'm going to play a tone for a change. Let's play maybe a C for half a second, and then we'll play another sound, we'll play another tone. Let's play a D for half a second, and then another sound, and we'll play a tone. Let's play an, ooh, that's no good. Let's play an E, that's better. So we'll play a C, a D, and an E for half a second. But this code that we just wrote won't move and play the music at the same time, right? Let's trace it. We start with the move block and stay there until the wheels have moved 180 degrees. But then the wheels stop moving. We've moved, but we didn't play anything. It's only when we go on to the next 3 blocks that we play the musical notes. But while we're playing the notes, the robot isn't moving. And then we're done the program. Putting the move block after the sound blocks also won't do what we want. We want the sound to play while the robot is moving. In this program, we begin by playing our notes, but the robot isn't moving. It's only after we finish playing our notes that the motors start to move. They turn for 180 degrees, and then we're done. But we want a way for our motors to move while we play the tune. Fortunately, in addition to being able to control our motors for a fixed number of degrees, rotations, or seconds, we have a 4th option called unlimited. I like to think of the move unlimited control as kind of like one of those giant Frankenstein switches. Technically, I think they're called knife switches that you swing to the left or right to turn the power to some heavy equipment on or off. When you select Move Unlimited, you're telling the NXT to turn on its motors and to leave the motors on until another motor block tells you to do something different, or the program finishes and the system cleans up. In addition, the NXT should continue on to the next block in its program right away. If you want to tell the motors to stop later, you select this option, which, as far as I'm concerned, looks much more like a do not enter sign than a stop sign. But if you select that stop sign-like thing in the Move Blocks control panel, that tells the NXT to turn off those motors, hit the brakes, and to continue to the next block in the program. Okay, so now we actually have all the tools that we need to write a program that moves while it plays notes. Let's take this first move block, and instead of having it at 180 degrees, let's move it to unlimited. So we're going to start, we're going to move, then we'll play the note, play the note, play the note, and finally we need to add a stop at the end. So we've got a move block, and we will just say stop. Okay, so let's download this. Now we've actually had to stick a mic on the robot so that you can hear this, but let's give it a try. Great. Let's trace our new program. Our program begins with this Move Unlimited block. So we start our motors rotating, and then we're ready to move on immediately to the next block. Our motors are still rotating as we play that first note, and they continue to rotate as we play the second note and the third note. When we're done playing the music, we get to this move block. Its configuration panel has the stop sign selected, and so we turn off all the motors and our robot stops moving. And finally, we clean up. That brings us to an interesting point. Remember, I keep saying that the NXT cleans up when it finishes running a program. And one of the things that the NXT does when it cleans up is turn off its motors. So in fact, in this program, you could have chosen to leave off that last block, and the robot would have behaved almost the same way as if you include the last block. The only difference would be that when we use a move block with a stop, in addition to turning off the power to the motors, the NXT really applies the brakes, so the robot stops instantly. When we clean up, the NXT doesn't apply the brakes, and so the robot just kind of coasts to a stop. So here's a tricky question for you. Suppose I write the program shown below. It's only got one block, a move block, and that move block is set to unlimited. When I run this, what do you think is going to happen? You may want to pause this video for a second to think about it. Okay, let's see. We start by turning on the power to the NXT's motors, and then we immediately go on to the next block. At which point we start to clean up, which means we immediately turn off the power to the NXT's motors. Here's what that program looks like when we run it. Setting your move duration to unlimited is good for more than just singing while you move. We'll see more of that in later lessons.